Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so we've been learning a lot more details about what took place in Memphis the day that famed rapper Yo Gotti's brother, Big Jook, who was also an executive at his company CMG, was gunned down after a repass following a funeral for somebody they were closely related to and affiliated with, right? There's been a lot of speculation out there about what actually went down and what brought on this shooting. But one thing is for certain, that the law enforcement has been on top of this, and they've gone to the social media and to the news to profess that they're gonna try their best to find out who shot and killed Big Jook. Now, a lot of people believe this is in retaliation for what happened to Young Dolph, and based on the things that have taken place since Young Dolph has been shot or was shot and killed, it seems like that might be accurate, and it seems like that might be right. But a new detail has emerged in this situation that might throw a monkey wrench into the whole case. And it's involving a vehicle that was seen in a shooting previously, and now the same vehicle is being associated with the shooting of Big Jook. Now let's actually look at a news clip of the local law enforcement talking about how they're going to be pursuing this case.
A repass, a meal shared by loved ones after a funeral was underway when it all happened. Deputy Police Chief Paul Wright says he does not believe this shooting was accidental.
There's no, this is preliminary, so we hadn't developed a connection to that at this time. We do feel like the individual that was shot was possibly targeted by the suspect.
Now, in that news clip, you learned that the local law enforcement there in Memphis is going to pursue this case much like they did with the Young Dolph case. They're going to match everything and all the details out there. And it seems like the first thing that dropped was a picture of the alleged getaway vehicle in the shooting of Big Jook. Now, it was a white vehicle, this car right here. It's a Ford Explorer with no plates or anything on it, right? Now, crazy enough, this vehicle has been seen in another shooting that took place just a day or two prior to when Big Jook lost his life. So these two cases might actually be connected as well. So man, let's actually look at the news story about that shooting that looks like it's involving the same vehicle. All right, so check this out. So this news story recently dropped, right? And a lot of people are starting to speculate because of the vehicle involved and because this is also taken in Memphis. As you can see, the headline here says, "New details. Lyft driver, passenger helped shooting victim in Tesla." So there was somebody who was shot in a Tesla, and they're saying that they were wheezing for pain or wheezing because they were in pain or whatnot, and some bystanders who happened to be a Lyft driver or whatnot ended up helping the person out. Now look at the vehicle that was caught on camera that they say was following the person in the Tesla who was actually shot. If you look at that vehicle, it looks eerily similar to the vehicle that's actually being placed in this whole situation. And it gets more interesting when we go and read the story. So let's get to it, man. So let's check this out. So in Memphis, Tennessee, police say a Lyft driver and his passenger came to the aid of a man shot several times while driving his Tesla in East Memphis. So this took place in East Memphis, and this person was driving their Tesla, and it looked like somebody pulled up on them and started to shoot. You know what I mean? And, you know, Memphis is in the South. And in the South, people have all sorts of different type of weapons and things like that. So a lot of shots can be let off at a short amount of time, man, in these situations. That's why people were so amazed at the amount of times that it said that Big Jook was shot in that situation and how quick it might have happened, right? This looks similar to that situation. It's saying it happened late Friday night at Popular Avenue and Ridgeway Loop. Now, we've heard that name several times, but it goes on to say that man shot severely injured near Popular Avenue. The female passenger in the Lyft told investigators they were southbound on Ridgeway Center Parkway, approaching the Ridgeway Loop, when they pulled up next to the victim's Tesla and noticed multiple bullet holes in the driver's side window. So it's in the driver's side window. Somebody had to pull up to him to the driver's side and start to let off shots. You know what I mean? And they said they just were randomly pulling up and they saw somebody's car was shot up. So, and if it's a Tesla, you know, that kind of sticks out, regardless of the car. If you roll up and you're in your Uber, most people would just be like, hey man, keep going. But this person, I guess they feel like a good Samaritan or whatnot. They felt the need to help out. So the woman said she could also hear the victim was in distress. So whoever had been shot was in the car probably screaming out like, help, I've been shot, somebody help me, you know what I'm saying? Or either wheezing in pain. Now the story continues by saying, she said she tried to help him out of the Tesla before police arrived. So man, this person, she was really trying to be a good Samaritan out here, man. She saw somebody wheezing in pain, heard them wheezing in pain, saw that their car was shot up, and then went to help, which is dangerous, man, because, you know, people spin the block and then they spin the block back. Like, they come back twice. Whoever laid out the shots, they probably thought they let so many shots off that the person in the car was already dead and would not survive, so they sped off, or they just didn't want to spend too much time there because obviously, if you look, there were cameras everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You can see that there was cameras that caught every angle of this car. You can see the car leaving right there, and you can see a further shot of the car leaving right there. And this seems like, even though it's called Popular, you know what I'm saying? No pun intended. This seems like a popular place that's named in a lot of these Memphis stories, right? And it's wild that somebody in the same exact car that's being associated with the Big Jook shooting is actually tied to another shooting that occurred just several days before. Now, if we close in and we look, it looks like this car is the same car because it doesn't look like it has any tags either, man. Is it possible that the person who had this vehicle was just on a mission? They were like, we gonna run down the list. We're gonna take out this person. We're gonna take out Big Jook. We're gonna take out that person, because that's what it seems like when you really get a look at the vehicle and the pictures. But man, let's continue with the story, man, before we really delve deep into these pictures, right? Now, the victim was shot several times, was transported to Regional 1 Medical Center in critical condition. And you see those same pictures of that car, and it's basically leaving, man. Now, the story finishes by saying a few things. Now, officers located several spent shell casings from a rifle and a handgun near the Tesla, and said video from nearby businesses showed the victim was being followed by a white Ford Explorer before the shooting. Now, what vehicle was used in the Big Jook shooting? A white Ford Explorer with no tags, blacked out, and a black sunroof. This seems like this is the same exact car. Let's keep it real, man. Like if this ain't the same car, that's a weird coincidence, to be real with you, man. And it being a Ford Explorer and everything, man, these things might actually be connected. You know what I mean? And they said that there were two different shell casings. One was from a rifle, the other was from a handgun. Eerily similar to what happened in the Young Dolph shooting. Remember, there was a guy with a long form rifle, and then there was a guy with a handgun. Same thing here in this situation. And I will bet anything when the shell casings and ballistics come back on the Big Jook shooting, it'll be something similar to that. It'll be a handgun and a rifle, man. So these guys are legitimately going out there, and that shows that it was two shooters. So they probably really thought that this guy was gone, that there was no way that he would survive. But it looked like an innocent bystander just said, hey, man, I'm in my Lyft, or Uber or whatnot. Somebody's over there in pain. They got shot, man. Let's try to help this person, man. So shout out to that person, I'm guessing. I don't know who's involved or why this took place, so maybe I shouldn't say shout out to them. But to think that somebody would risk their own life and safety to go and say, forget it, man. We're going to try to help this person that's obviously their car has been shot up. You know what I'm saying? They're wheezing in pain. It's tough to get involved in those situations because you never know how deep it is and how much you really want to get involved. But y'all tell me what y'all think about this, man. Let's look at these pictures just one more time. So look at that. That's the same car, right? You see the blacked out rims, the blacked out top, the blacked out everything. Ford Explorer. Doesn't look like it has any tags. If you look at that picture right there, doesn't look like there's any tags on the back of this car either, on the front or the back of the car. No tags, right? That's just another shot of it leaving away. But they're saying, maybe it's a possibility they were following that car because it was somebody they were with and they were dropping them off. But nah, man, it just seems odd that this same car is connected to this shooting as well, man. Now, y'all do me a favor. Hold up. Let's do this, man. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section, man. Is it possible that this was some sort of hit team that was just scratching off their list, going from one person to the next? Like, is and going down a list for whatever reason, and they shot that person one day, then came back, planned it out, and shot Big Jook as well. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments. Now with that, this has been your boy Big Man. I'm pretty sure we're going to be hearing more about this situation. But if you want to hear more details about what happened in the Yo Gotti's brother Big Jook shooting, go ahead and hit the link below. Or if you want to see a video about the details in the Young Dolph's people and how they say that they're spinning for Young Dolph, go ahead and click the other link on the other side. You know what I mean? Now with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.